Tonight on the Friday Night Football Season Kickoff Special.
How a local product could fill an injury void for the Lions.
We play touchdown or turnover with the Spartans and Wolverines.
Our Path to Greatness series returns with CMU-bound Nevin Symington.
Ref in remission, Steve Johnson shows me his unique rehab disc golf course.
And what culture means to mid-Michigan high schools.
All that and more on the Friday Night Football Season Kickoff Special.
Welcome to the Friday Night Football Season Kickoff Special. Now, let's join your hosts, Tom Eschen and Gina Trotman.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Friday Night Football Season Kickoff Special, and I'm Tom Eschen.
And I'm Gina Trotman. After tonight, you are going to know exactly where your team stands heading into the 2017
That's
season.
good stuff to know, and some of these athletes are going to teach us a little bit about life, too, which is important. But first, we'll talk about culture.
Every program on every level talks about culture leading to success. We went around the region to find out what these teams want their cultures to look like. Ubly, Frankenmuth, Millington, and MLS are all coming off state semifinal appearances. For them, culture is not only about the effort they put in,
a lasting legacy of excellence that we always work hard in the winter and the spring and bring it in the summer,
but also about pride.
Once a Cardinal, always a Cardinal. To believe and be happy about the program that you came from, where you're from.
And that win or lose, you play for each other.
For us, more than anything, we need togetherness. As long as we're all on the same page, we'll be okay.
If someone would come in here, I would want them to see that these kids are, they bust their butt and they all get along and they push each other is what they do.
The Saginaw Valley League is one of the toughest conferences in the state. And to compete, you have to do all the little things right.
We want to be remembered as a hard-working team. We want to be remembered as a physical team. And most importantly, a smart team. We don't want to get outsmarted by any team.
And try to stand out from the rest.
I want this team to be special. Powers is a great traditional school, but I want something to set us different than the other teams before us and after us.
Sometimes, though, it's about more than just what happens on the field.
They learn some life lessons, which they definitely do. And in the end of the day, whether you win 9 or lose 9, if you accomplish those other things, you'll be successful.
It's a balance between being good people and playing good football.
We're the best dudes in the city, and that everyone can look up to us. And then when we get out there on Friday nights, we're going to put on a show.
Well, our three, main focuses are discipline, leadership, and unselfishness. So I think that's a, perfect way to describe the culture that we're looking for.
Set, hit!
In the Flint Metro, football culture is about the people lined up beside you.
We believe that you win as a family. Families win championships, and that's what we preach here as a family culture, and that's what we're about.
And the people who show up on Friday nights to cheer you on.
We got, 4,000 people watching us.
Go!
This town loves its football. So, we have great crowds, and they follow us very well to away games.
For perennial powerhouse Ithaca, it's about keeping their existing culture rolling.
Okay, we're in good shape. Let's not screw this up, to be honest with you. And, credit to my coaching staff and all the players. They've bought into what we're doing.
And in Freeland, maintaining an already solid foundation.
Thankfully, we don't really have to do too much culture changing right now because we have the tradition that we have. The last couple of years, we've kind of built it up to where now we just have to keep what has already been built.
In other cases, culture can change each year.
It's always like a one-up kind of standard. So, you one-up them this year, then the people below you have to prove themselves, make them like a new North opponent team.
From the Thumb to Genesee County, one theme seemed to resonate with all teams.
How do you make Grand Blanc kids come down the hill and be physical? And I said, you don't. There's not a drill I can do. They got to care about the guy next to them. If you care about the people around you more than you hate the person across from you, you got a chance to play well.
There's a whole new culture in the works for Flint football. Tom has some special guests in studio now to explain. Tom?
Thanks, Gina, so much. We got a whole bunch of guys in the studio now, some of the best from the newest team. Flint School is a combination of Northwestern and Southwestern. Let's get some of these names just so you guys know. We're going to talk about them in highlights, I'm sure, this year. We got Trevante, Manuel, Cortez, Devon, or B. Coates. That's Devon B. Coates is actually his name. And Altravion, the guys on the left here from Northwestern and Southwestern, but, you know, we're all one team now, Flint School. The nickname is the big thing, the Jaguars. You know, what does a Jaguar mean to you?
To me, a Jaguar is something like a leader. You show leadership. It don't back down from nothing.
Yeah. Cortez?
So aggressive, it's ferocious, it's just tenacious, go after anything, no matter what.
You know, thinking about, you know, growing up in Flint and, you know, what that means to you guys, how has that made you stronger on and off the field? We'll start down with B Coates here.
It made us stronger by going through what we had to go through with the water and just growing up with the violence and everything.
All the adversity we face, like the city throws a lot of things at you. It's a lot of things that go on in the city. Us just still being able to focus is a big thing.
We see so much that we shouldn't really see, like, but we still got to focus. Like, it's hard.
I was talking to your coach, Chris Wilson, is that you guys even, you know, schedule your practice around you when you guys work and to support yourselves, support your families, which I think is something not every kid has to do and deal with, which is something impressive, that you guys work and then go to practice, especially during the 2 days of the summer, which isn't fun or easy, you know? All right, final question here, real quick. Favorite football player and why?
I got two. Thomas Rawls and LaShawn McCoy.
Okay, Thomas Rawls, a guy from around here, right?
Yeah, he like a mentor to me, and I just like the way he play. He just go get it.
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna say my coach, because he know where I'm coming from. He's been to the NFL. He just gives me motivation to get there.
Yeah, Chris Wilson. Yep. Looking forward to seeing Flint Schools and, you know, making some noise and something to remember this year. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. We now move to a person who makes those games possible. Back in October, local referee Steve Johnson told us his remarkable story of how he beat cancer. At one point, he had just months to live, but his positive attitude and faith brought him back, and now is an inspiration for us all. If you can recall, getting healthy allowed him to finish his disc golf course, which is where Tom meets him for some friendly competition.
Yep. Okay, we're going to go to hole number 2. 55 yards.
That's a long throw.
It's not a long throw.
Off the tree. So how has this been incorporated into your workouts?
Well, basically, as you can see, I've got all the holes in yardage, okay? Yeah. And I've set up like a basketball floor, okay? Where I run suicide. Then I run around the whole property, which is like a quarter mile. Okay. Okay, and I'll do that twice. Yes. and I'll do that twice. Wow. And so that's my ritual. Hey, there you go. Had him right. All right. Every time that I talk about it or I say a prayer for somebody, I break out into a sweat, and here I've done it again. Okay, and it's like the Holy Spirit coming out of my body and hopefully passing it off to somebody else. Okay, you know, it's powerful stuff. There ain't no doubt about it. See, now you're gonna, if you can control that just a little bit more. Look, you got a nice little kick back. Hey, now ring the bell, knock the bells off. All right. I'll, you know, go visit churches. I'll speak at churches. Yeah. You know, and do that. And you know, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel real good. So, and anybody that calls me, I get several phone calls. And you know, they told me, let it come to you. Well, guess what? It comes every day. This way. Yeah. Okay, we just kind of like flip. Oh. See?
That's different.
Like a little different technique on that one. There you go. There you go. Hey! Oh, nice! I'm not stopping, Dad. I'm not stopping. Nope, I'm not stopping. I'm going to continue on and go as much as I can. And then, you know, I got a 2-year-old grandson, you know, and Brody is, you know, one of the loves of my life.
Oh, right here. Yeah!
All right. Let's just keep playing, man. All right, here we go.
A couple more throws.
Luckily, a miracle came my way, and I'm glad it did. Okay.
Let's keep going, you know?
Yeah.
Look for Steve on the field this season. You can't miss that energy. He's obviously infectious.
And that energy will continue right here on the Friday Night Football Kickoff Special.
Yeah, coming up here, will the season be more like a touchdown or turnover for the Spartans and Wolverines? We'll break that all down
It's the third season for John Bonamigo, the senior year for a Flint native, how he's grown as a leader.
I want to represent the city in a good light. I don't want to let the city down or anything like that.
Our first path to greatness of the school year, how Saginaw's Nevin Symington, proof you need more than talent to make it. That's next, but first we ask the athletes from around the region who their favorite player is.
Probably Luke Kuechly.
Kuechly, not a bad choice. How come?
He never takes a play off and he plays hard.
Aaron Rodgers.
Why is that?
Because he can run, pass, he can do it all.
I'd say Marshall Yanda on the Ravens. He's a guard for them, and he plays with a lot of intensity.
This Friday Night Football season kickoff special is presented by Patsy Lou Chevrolet Buick GMC, home of the 5-day money-back guarantee. Welcome back to this Friday Night Football season kickoff special.
Welcome back, everybody. Time for our first path to greatness of the school year. The Saginaw High Trojans have just 6 wins since 2013. They're without a winning season since 2003. Despite that, senior Nevin Symington, he's heading to Division I Central Michigan University next season, a path not every Division I athlete takes.
That anything's possible. Really, it doesn't matter where you come from. You just have to put forth the effort and the work.
Making a Division I scholarship possible. For Nevin Symington, it started at an early age.
I was like 2 when he grabbed a stuffed basketball, stuffed football, and then held him up and I grabbed the football.
Just a few years later,
like 3rd grade, me and my friend Brad, we were like the hardest hitters on the team, so we always used to be the ones going against each other in the hitting drills and stuff. Yeah, that was a good old days.
He's worked hard since then, both on and off the gridiron. Number 1 in his class academically. He got looks from the Ivy League schools too, but his biggest challenge coming off the field.
Living in Saginaw, in the city, there's a lot of trouble and stuff. Me personally, to distance myself from that, I keep myself focused in the classroom and on the football field.
Nevin's done things the right way, but as his football program struggles, a Division I scholarship still isn't a given for someone in Saginaw these days. His father, a former CMU player himself, has the solution.
So, going to all those camps, since the age of 3 when he was playing Pop Warner football, 10th and 11th grade year, he did probably about 18. Doing that gives your kids a chance because, like I was told, no matter if you win a state championship, a college still don't know about you unless you go to camp. Right. That's how you get your exposure.
And because of his background, Nevin feels ready for the next level.
Since I'm mentally tough and physically tough, and I've grown up in a not so good environment, when I get to college and everywhere else, it shouldn't be like going from somewhere that was perfect and then stepping into something that's not so perfect. So it should be an easier transition.
I say, Nevin, what you do right now, the habits that you make right now are important for the future.
Nevin's an example that it's possible to realize top-tier potential in Saginaw. It just takes hard work, education, and smart decisions to show that it can happen. That's why Nevin Symington is on the path to greatness.
This year's Chippewas lost Tyler Conklin during preseason with a broken foot and Cooper Rush to graduation, but they have talent coming back at running back and receiver. And they have Flint's Amari Coleman, who's emerged as a leader in the secondary, and the rest of the team too.
I'm a leader of the team, and the underclassmen look up to me. Last year I was a junior, and I feel like I didn't vocalize myself that much as this year, and that I should have, because we had other seniors on the team. But since I'm a senior now and I'm a captain on the team, I believe that I had to grow up a little bit and just be an example on and off the field.
CMU opens with Rhode Island on Thursday the 31st. Still to come on the Friday Night Football Kickoff Special.
It makes you appreciate everything in life a lot more.
How some Spartans share an unfortunate bond off the playing field. Before that, let's check in with some more favorite players.
I really like Michigan's quarterback, Spite. He just seemed like a guy that came out of nowhere and he works hard.
Probably Aaron Rodgers. Really like the way he leads. He's a good leader.
Welcome back to this Friday Night Football season kickoff special.
feel like within a team, the main thing you relate with a teammate is that y'all all come from different backgrounds. That's one thing y'all share. It might not be the same background, but y'all all come from different backgrounds, so y'all can all relate in different ways.
Flint's Gerald Holmes speaking from experience. Holmes lost his mother at an early age, and as he's emerged as a leader, he's learned that his teammates share backgrounds similar to his and to help them work through tough times.
After already losing his cousin, Spartan sophomore defensive tackle Raekwon Williams lost his 16-year-old brother just last month, but he'll play in his memory this season.
That hurt a lot, you know, and it makes me feel like I can overcome anything and still be here, you know what I mean? Still playing, still smiling every day, and my mom's still smiling, so I can't complain, you know, I'm just blessed.
He's still smiling. Williams, he's expected to make a major impact on the D-line this year. As for some of those other guys that are going to make an impact on the state squad, let's go to a little segment we call Touchdown or Turnover. We're each going to make a statement. As Stuart Schweigert, on loan from ESPN 100.9, former Purdue Boilermaker, 5-year NFL veteran, joins us in studio now to talk some stuff.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, my first take here. Brian Lewerke is going to help the Spartans' chemistry do a 180. They're going to make a bowl game easily this year. Touchdown, turnover.
I'm going to say turnover, because a young quarterback is stepping into a team that is lacking leadership right now, so they don't really know where they're at. They don't know what type of team they're going to have. It's going to take some of those guys, the offensive line and players around him, to really surround him and protect him. I think D'Antonio is going to do a good job of making sure he simplifies things for him. So I don't think it's going to be him. It's going to be the rest of the team.
Okay.
All right, my take. Mark D'Antonio has lost his grip on the team and will not return to coach in 2018.
I'm going to say turnover as well, because again, I had the privilege of meeting D'Antonio when he was a defensive back coach at Michigan State. I know the type of coaching tree he comes from, Nick Saban. He's going to turn that thing around. He's going to get leadership in there, and he's going to get the riff-raff out, and they're going to have a better season this year.
All right, we'll see how it does. 2 turnovers so far. Let's go over to Ann Arbor now, taking a look at the Michigan Wolverines. My statement for the Wolverines: not enough experience in the locker room. They're not going to win the big games in November. Touchdown or turnover?
I am going to have to say turnover again.
Wow.
Again, I don't necessarily look at the players and who they have. I look at the system that these coaches have. And Harbaugh has proven he can win games with players who had lost a lot of games the year before he had gotten there. So again, it's the system that he has. His system permeates success, and you can plug different players in there. Now, they may not win as many games, but I think they are going to win a decent amount of games in November.
Okay.
All right, we don't want to go over 4 here. Here's my take. They are young, but that young talent will beat Ohio State this year.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Come on.
Finally.
There's no way I'm going to agree with some Ohio State team beating a Michigan team. Yeah, I went to Purdue. When it comes to Ohio State, I want everybody to beat them. So they are going to beat Ohio State.
You're not in the minority there. Well, Stuart's going to stick around. We're going to talk some lines in just a moment, but we're going to have another round of touchdown or turnover as well. Matthew Stafford, or injuries playing a bigger factor this year for those Detroit Lions? We'll discuss all that as the Friday Night Football season kickoff special continues right here on Fox 56 and NBC 25.
Well, I'm a coach guy, so you know, I certainly love studying Belichick.
A guy named Wayne Corbett, wide receiver for the New York Jets.
My all-time favorite football player is Chris Spielman, linebacker, Detroit Lion.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Friday Night Football season kickoff special here. Talking Lions. Their defensive line's been ravaged by injuries, but one guy in that unit has really stuck out the most to me in camp. That's West Branch's Anthony Zettel. He's been great.
That's right, Tom. I agree. I caught up with Zettel and Allen Park this preseason, and he told me about his comfort in year 2 with the Lions and how sweet it is to be in the D.
A lot more confident just in the scheme. As a player individually, I feel great. Just play fast and a lot less thinking that goes into it.
Now, just coming back, you're a Michigan guy. You get drafted by your hometown team. How fun is it just to be in Detroit?
It's a dream come true. I grew up a Lions fan as a little kid, watching the games with my family and stuff, and just get drafted by them and be here is very exciting for me and my family, and also all my friends and stuff from home. I think as a team, this is the best chemistry of a team I've been on. We're a step ahead of where we were last year at this time of the year, and I really think that this is a special year with a lot of good people on the team.
Good to see a local guy at the Lions. Pretty cool. Time for one more touchdown or turnover, shall we? Stuart comes back in here. Gina, go first.
Matthew Stafford will have his best year. despite contract talks and distractions?
I say touchdown. You know, his rookie year, I was actually in Detroit. He is a very, very good quarterback. I think he's a great leader out there. He's got tons and tons of experience, and that's what makes these players great. And a quarterback like him, he's been around a long time. He can put up some big-time numbers. I think you're right. I agree with you on that.
Another touchdown for Gina. I'm feeling a turnover maybe here. They've had a lot of injuries here. Touchdown or turnover. The injuries take a toll in that locker room. They don't make the playoffs.
I am going to say touchdown.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Injuries are crucial in the NFL in a long season like that. And when you're already having injuries preseason, you're shuffling guys in that didn't have a chance to do the offseason with them. They're not in shape. They're not prepared. And I think you catch that injury bug, and it affects teams, and teams do that. And I think you're right. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Stuart, another extra for high school on our website right now. Make sure to log on and look at that. He knows everything there is to know about high school, so make sure we talk about that as well. Let's move on. We have one more thing coming after the break.
Favorite football player has to be Ray Lewis. I like Matthew Stafford a lot.
I'm a big fan of Joey Bosa. I know he's an Ohio State guy, but I just like his explosiveness and everything he has.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Friday Night Football season kickoff special. We only have a few seconds to go, so time for the Hail Mary. Those always work, right? Bold predictions for this season, football-wise. Gina.
Here we go. I have a feeling we are going to have a state champ on our hands. We had 5 teams make it to the semifinals last year. This time around, someone's going to get it done, and it will be Ithaca.
Okay, yeah, they're down a class, so we'll see how they do. Time for my Hail Mary. We already talked about it earlier in the show. I think Stuart did it for me. They're going to beat Ohio State. That's my bold prediction this year. The young guys will have almost a full year under their belt. They'll get up and play their best
back in the big house.
That's right, for Harbaugh's biggest win yet. For Gina Trotman and the rest of the Friday Night Football team, see us every Friday night here on NBC 25 and Fox 66. Have a good night, everybody.